Hello, everyone. It's Craig Campbell from Pastor Craig's Vintage Cards, and just a quick video here on a Saturday. And just got done watching my Pirates beat the Twins in a shutout. And Pirates are playing pretty darn good ball right now. They've won 2 out of 3 against the Dodgers, and they won 2 out of so far the first 2 games of a 3-game series with the Twins. And it's been a real joy to watch Paul Skeens pitch. I've seen every game on television that he's pitched, and Jared Jones as well, and it's just nice to see the Pirates coming around and playing some decent ball. So I'm just real happy with that. And I just picked up a few cards over the last couple of weeks. Nothing really big. Bought a few of them on Facebook, and the first one here is this nice 1979 Reggie Jackson in an SGC6. And for those that don't know, Reggie's one of my favorite players. Really, the first World Series I can remember was the Oakland A's in the 72 3 and 4 World Series. And I just always enjoyed the Oakland A's team and Reggie Jackson. And of course, I was, like in 8th, 9th grade during his Yankee years. Got to see him play in Milwaukee a few times in the late 70s, but really enjoyed Reggie when he was with the Yankees, and Mr. October hitting those 3 home runs. I was in high school when that happened. I remember it really clearly. It's kind of funny. My parents didn't care for Reggie Jackson. They always thought he was a hot dog or whatever, and they certainly didn't like the Yankees because of the Yankee success when they were kids all through the late 40s and early 50s. But just looking at Reggie's stats there, and just that 1969 season, wow. I mean, 47 home runs, 118 RBIs. Wow, what a big year. 36 doubles. Jeez Louise. And the one thing I want people to notice is if you look at his batting average, I mean, he was a pretty decent average hitter, really throughout his career. It was towards the end when he really tailed off. Of that last A's season there with a 253 average, that's kind of the low spot. The 70s season, he had a 237 average, but you can see, like, for what's considered a power hitter, I mean, he hit 286, 277, 289, 293, all while hitting like 30-plus home runs. I mean, so a lot of people, they remember Reggie for his big swings. He never got cheated at the plate. That's one of the things that attracted me as a kid. Reggie never got cheated, and but he was not a strikeout machine until really towards the end of his career when the skills had started to fade, and he probably played a couple years longer than he should have. But Reggie Jackson, one of the great players, and looking at this card and kind of just doing a mental inventory of my Reggie Jackson cards, I really probably need to pursue his 1969 rookie card, and I may have to add that for the list of possible pickups at the National if I can find a really nice centered one, and find one at a right price. I mean, it seems like looking online, the prices seem to be all over the place, and some of the ones that are in my price range, they're not very well centered. The 69s are notorious for that, but I'm gonna probably be looking for a 69 Reggie here in the near future. But I was happy to pick this up. I got it on a Facebook claim, I believe, for $15, and that was including shipped. So pretty happy to get this 79 Reggie. And then speaking of 79, I also have this, picked up this, the PSA 7, the 1979 all-time strikeout leader, Nolan Ryan and Walter Johnson. You can see it's an old slab because it doesn't have the flag in the middle, and it's an older slab. So, but the card number, the grade, or the classification and the number are not on the same line. So it's not extremely old, because usually those were the near mint and the 7 would have been on the same line. But I was looking at this when I took it out of the plastic wrapper, and just it's so interesting when you look at the highest career totals, and you see Walter, of course, at 3508, and then Bob Gibson. If you look, you can see like Nolan's way down here, 2686. He's got a lot of baseball left in him. But you look at the names: Warren Spahn, Bob Feller, Fergie Jenkins, and right ahead of him, Tom Seaver. Mickey Lolich. I think a lot of us probably forget how good Mickey Lolich was, and same with Jim Bunning. good old Gaylord Perry right at 3,001. And of course, Bob Gibson. But it's interesting when you look at the season totals and you see Nolan Ryan, I mean, 383. And he looks like he beat Sandy Koufax's 1965 season by one strikeout. One strikeout. I really was not aware of that. But you see Nolan all over the list there in 73, again in 74, 77, 72, 76. You know, Steve Carlton there at the end with 72. And of course, I remember Nolan Ryan when he pitched for the Angels. Primarily, I don't really remember him much with the Mets, mainly with the Angels. And I just remember you just never knew what you were going to get out of Nolan Ryan. You might get 12 strikeouts and 8 base on balls. And, you know, if you look at his stats, you'll see a lot of seasons where, you know, he was barely above a 500 pitcher. But, boy, could he throw the heat. And so I was kind of happy to pick this up. I got it on a claim, I believe, on Facebook again for not much money, just a little bit over the cost of the slab. And I just thought, well, couldn't go wrong with that. And now on to a couple of 77 cards. Bruce Suuter. And got this here, a Hall of Fame rookie card that I wanted to get for him. And, you know, a lot of people forget how dominant Bruce Suuter was as a relief pitcher. He was, you know, he was so good. And the thing I did not realize is that he was drafted in 1970, and then he went to Old Dominion University and came back. But the thing I remember most about Bruce Suuter is he was really the first guy that threw the split-fingered fastball effectively. And it's kind of like a moderation to a forkball. And Suuter mastered that split-finger fastball, and he was really tough with the Cubs. But then he really took on the national stage and the scene with the Cardinals. And believe it or not, you can maybe Google it or look it up, but Bruce Suuter is one of the rare pitchers that had an unassisted pickoff at first base. Yeah, you heard me right. Unassisted pickoff at first base. It was playing against the Pirates. I believe it was Bill Madlock. Had led off, and somehow Keith Hernandez had distracted Madlock enough that Suuter was able to run off the mound and touch first base and pick him off of first. And rather amazing. I believe it was in the early 80s, like 82, 83, somewhere in there. But Bruce Suuter, the biggest thing for me that I remember about him is he closed out my Brewers in the 82 World Series. Struck out Storm and Gorman Thomas in Game 7. And Suuter, I believe he was one of the, I think he's the only... I think he's the only pitcher in the Hall of Fame that never started a game. He never did start a game in the big leagues. Everything was out of the bullpen. And you can see his minor league started in 72 and made it with the Cubs in 76. And so, yeah, I got this on a decent price, and I wanted to get it for, you know, a Hall of Fame rookie card and 77 tops. The other thing significant about this is 78 was the last year that I had opened baseball cards, really. And so the 77, I do remember opening some of these packs. I don't remember a whole bunch of them. But the 77s, I really do like the design with the pennant up there. Kind of reminds me a little bit of the 65 set with the pennant. And then the last one here, Dave Winfield. A nice SGC 6. And Winfield's rookie is in 74, so this is a fourth-year card for Winfield. And boy, what a player he was. I mean, I can remember when you'd see him in the All-Star game, because the Padres, they weren't very good. But you'd see Winfield in the All-Star game. I just remember him and Dave Parker just seemed like such big, big men. You know, and you look at Winfield, he's 6'6", and here he's 220. I mean, you know, 6'6" and 220. He was... You know, that's about how big Michael Jordan was. And Winfield, of course, was I believe he was a 3-star player at Minnesota. I think he played basketball, football, and, of course, baseball. And but you can see, like, he wasn't really creaming the ball too much here. You know, 74 season, he had 20 home runs. The next year, 15 and 13. He matured into himself at 6'6" and 220. He obviously had power, but it wasn't like on full display yet. And you can see his average at 272. But I really remember Dave more from the All-Star games because the Padres just were not very good. And, of course, when he got traded to the Yankees, that's where he really took the national stage. But what a heck of a player he was, Dave Winfield. Just a really good player. So I was happy to add this. I have his rookie card, and I don't think I have a 75 and a 76. So I was happy to get this Dave Winfield card. And just a great player, Hall of Famer. And just enjoy these 77 cards. So yeah, a little bit of a blast from the past going back in the 70s and the 77 and 79 season. Now this is kind of an interesting oddball card here. This is a card that came from I believe it's the 1978 Atlanta card show convention. And I'd have to look that up again, but I believe this came out of the 78 or 79 Atlanta card show convention. So you can see it's a copy of the 59 tops. Of course, Eddie Matthews' 59 is the yellow one. And so it's kind of a copy off the 59, and it's got their career stats in the back. And I like that. Also a top fielding third baseman with a rifle arm. And you can even date that when it says Eddie is a recent member of the Hall of Fame. Well, he was really recent because he got inducted in 1978. So, and it's just kind of interesting. He holds many Braves records, most career base on balls, and most strikeouts. And if you look at that, it's really interesting. 1376 base on balls, 1387 strikeouts. I did not know that he had that many walks, almost the same as the strikeouts. And just a kind of an interesting card. I picked this up. I believe I got it. The guy made a deal for $5 on it, but just kind of a cool thing to add to the Matthews collection. And then, last but not least, I've been picking up some of these 1955 Topps doubleheaders when I can. And, of course, I'd like to get the Hank Aaron and the Al Kaline. I'm going to look at those maybe at the National. I'm still, if I can find somebody that's got a bunch of 55s, and as long as they're kind of well-centered, I mean, I'm okay with some of the creasing here. And, of course, you got the fold right here. But because of the color on the card, if I can find them that are decently centered, that's going to be the key for me. And then, of course, you have on the backside Chuck Stobbs, who would be the fold-down player. And just kind of a cool card. And there's not a whole lot of them in the set. I don't know exactly. I kind of forget how many are in the set. But I would like to try to put them together if I can. It's just kind of a interesting card. And, of course, the word is that if you were to place them all numerically 1, 2, 3 on to the end of the set, they would make a stadium. So they would show the complete stadium. I've not seen that myself. I trust that it's true. And here's Carl Olson, an outfielder. And on the flip side, you've got Andy Carey, a third baseman for the Yankees. Kind of a cool looking card there. So Carl Olson and Andy Carey. And then I've got Ron Jackson, a third baseman with the White Sox. I like the detail, even like the tarp rolled up back here. That's pretty cool. I like that. And the socks across his hat. And on the flip side, we have Jim Finnegan, third baseman with the Athletics. So really enjoy these 55 Topps doubleheaders. Really cool cards. And that's all I've got for you today. I just wanted to run by, and don't forget about the Hobby Lollapalooza coming up. It's going to be on the 4 Collectors channel. And if you haven't already subscribed to 4 Collectors, do so, because there's just a lot of different things on there. Sammy will have a chill and chat. We have trade night. John has that every now and then. Pepino Man comes on. Theo comes on. Just a really cool thing. So, yeah, check out the 4 Collectors, and 4 Collectors, and you will not be disappointed. All right, guys, enjoy the hobby and have a great night. And I've got something big coming in the mail here in the next couple days, I hope. And when I do, I'll show it to you. But it's a big card for me, and I'm looking forward to showing everybody that. Enjoy the hobby, guys. Keep on collecting, and we'll see you later.